I'm Adam Myers, and joining me today is James McDonald, the Portfolio Manager for the Pengana High Conviction Equities Fund. Jim, it's been a good year for equity markets in general, but an absolutely sensational year for your fund. Can you briefly explain your style of investing, how you go about making money for your investors?
Yeah, thanks, Adam. It's been a fantastic year so far. Very happy to give you a bit of a background of how we do things. It's a global concentrated high conviction equities fund with a maximum of 20 holdings. It can invest globally. All the stocks in the portfolio are global, but a lot of them happen to be listed in Australia as well. The PDS is very flexible. It's got a negative ethical screen that screens out anything that's harmful to society or the environment, and it incorporates ESG. So we're really looking for companies that have sustainable competitive advantages. We want companies that have, and that can be different across different sectors. It might be a strong brand, a strong technology, a patented healthcare stock or a high market share. So that's the first part. Secondly, and probably equally importantly, is businesses that are trading at a substantial discount to their intrinsic value. I think that's easier said than done. There's a lot of companies that are fairly valued in markets, so that is very important. We like companies that are a bit undiscovered, particularly smaller companies. They might be out of favour, under-researched. Not always the case, but we tend to make great returns when we find that. We do like management to be aligned with the rest of the shareholders, so high share ownership. And we like companies that have strong balance sheets that can get them through to realisation of their business model. And if they have debt, then we want very strong, predictable cash flows to manage that. So that's really how we go about doing it.
Excellent, a great overview, thank you. A high proportion of your portfolio has always been allocated to the healthcare sector. Is this an area of specific expertise?
It's something that I have been investing in for 20 years in the healthcare sector. I'm very comfortable there. It's interesting because it's got defensive growth characteristics, but there is a lot of technology differentiation as well. There is a lot of subsegments in the healthcare sector. One that I'm most familiar with is radiation oncology that I've been investing in for 20 years. The fund did fantastically well out of a company called Telix Pharmaceutical. We invested in 2019 around $1, currently $18. Right now, a significant position is a smaller version of Telix called Clarity Pharmaceuticals, and that's risen actually over the last 8 months from $1 to about $5. But we still think it's really well positioned. There's been a lot of M&A in the sector in the last 6 to 8 months, so we think it's a likely takeover target. But we do other stuff as well. We're not just healthcare, really across the board. Right now, we've got a 50% weighting in healthcare, but it won't always be the case.
And at the moment, I think you've got quite a large exposure to materials as well. Can you touch on some of the exciting opportunities you see there?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're very excited about 2 holdings in the portfolio, Hyperion X and Brazilian Rare Earths. So Hyperion X has a highly patented technology to fundamentally lower the cost of producing titanium in a very green fashion with low carbon emissions, and we think it's really going to be very disruptive for the titanium industry. At the same time, most of the titanium in the world at the moment is produced in Russia and China, about 70%, and the US has no titanium being produced domestically. So there's a great desire to reshore titanium production to the US, and Hyperion X is perfectly positioned to do that. They also have mining tenements for mineral sands in Tennessee to produce titanium ores, which the US is also not doing. Brazilian Rare Earths is another interesting name. It's discovered the largest, richest rare earth deposit in the world, and they're currently proving that up. But for instance, their grades are around 18% at the moment. The 2 leading Western producers, Lynas and Mountain Pass, are about 6 to 8%. So really just off the chart, so much better than the rest of the industry.
I know that there is growing demand for rare earths at the moment. Is the demand for titanium growing as well?
Absolutely. Titanium is fundamentally a better metal than aluminium or stainless steel. It's much stronger. It doesn't corrode. The main problem is it's just very expensive to produce it. So the titanium market's tiny. It's only $4 billion a year. Aluminium and stainless steel are about $200 billion each. So if we can get the cost of titanium down, it's going to displace a lot of those other metals. And of course, there's new applications. For instance, you'll see Apple is making titanium iPhone cases recently. So it's a very interesting area. And rare earths, obviously, also in huge demand for EVs, wind turbines, and increasingly robotics in future, where you need a huge number of motors to make those robots work.
Great. And how would you describe the current opportunity set for your style of investing? Should investors be concerned that after this run that you've had, they've missed the boat?
Not at all. We feel hugely optimistic about the stocks in our portfolio, and we think most of them are just at the early stage of value realisation. There's always a huge number of interesting small caps in the world, listing and raising capital, etc. So we see a lot of opportunities. And there's also obviously interesting ideas in large cap stocks too, which we occasionally come across. For instance, we made a 3-fold return on Spotify and a hospital operator over the last 2 or 3 years. So there's opportunities everywhere.
Great, thanks Jim, and thanks for taking the time to watch this update. If you would like more information from James, you can subscribe to his monthly updates, which are available on our website. And if you want more information about the fund, please get in touch with your business representative, your business development representative. Thanks very much.
Thank you.